Welcome back. This is Rob Thomas, your enterprise architect for everything Microsoft. Today, we're going to cover navigating Windows Server 2025. I just want to take a couple of minutes to kind of walk through after we covered part one of installing Windows Server 2025. And that was all about prerequisites, getting everything in place and ready to go. And then part two was actually completing the installation step and getting installed. Now, before we get started, without further ado, I wanted to give a thanks to our sponsor, which is our enterprise software solutions. And these guys are great. Again, I mentioned this in multiple videos. These guys are great. They have a 10% offer going on right now. But whenever you're buying any of your Microsoft products, by all means, reach out to them. They'll get you your Windows SQL Server, Windows Server, Office 365. But again, by all means, reach out to this team. They are lovely. All right. Now, let's jump into this. Okay, so let's navigate the Windows Server 2025. What is this, right? We installed it. Things are good. Let's just walk around. How is this different? Interesting. So if I click on here, oh, wow, this is very similar to Office or Windows 11. So if I'm in Windows 11, I still have the same setup. I'm administrator. I can click. I can change account settings. I can lock. I can sign out. But I have some cool features in here. I have a typical service manager we talked about. Azure Sync setup. This is a really cool feature. I'm not going to cover this, but you can sync this to an Azure infrastructure, right? And then I have my settings. I can go into my settings. And then I have my systems, Bluetooth, networking. So you just start clicking down in here. Personalize, right? So I can change my settings, lock my screen, start, change font, fool around with the theme, right? And just do some really cool stuff with this. Apps. Right, so install apps. I install some applications into my environment, system components, remote desktop connection. Now this is important, right? So, because usually for a server, what's going to happen is, like on my computer system, I would have a remote desktop agent, which is a piece of software. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. I'll pull that up. And this is what I'll remote access into this environment. Now, if you can see here, right? I can remote access into a virtual machines. This is me purchasing a virtual instance of Windows Server because I didn't want to go through that whole step. So I purchased it. I was paying like $10, and then I was like, oh, I pay for this. How do I log in? And you log in with this remote desktop. And then when you log into a remote desktop, boom, you're gonna get exactly this. Like I'm able, boom, I have access to the server. And I can start installing some things on here. So now let's look at the file manager. So look at it, File Explorer. Oh my God, it's exactly the same to Windows 11, but a lot more enhanced features. Got my desktop, my downloads, my documents, pictures, musics, videos. I can do all that. I got my C drive, perf logs, program files, x86, users, right? Windows, and so forth, right? This is specific to be using VMware and so forth, like that. And then also I have a network where I can do some things in a network. So I'm like, oh wow, like the whole file structures is exactly the same. Like I can go into properties, I can do things, I can create sharing, all that stuff. So great. I have a strong Windows background. This is very similar. There's nothing like out of the box crazy new. I'm just learning all the new features and all the enhancements in the Windows Server 2025, right? And I'm able to navigate around. And as you can see here, this is the browser. So I have a browser in here. So I have Edge, Microsoft Edge. I could do search. I can click on the search. Typical same search. You can see, check for updates, explore files, look around, do some cool stuff. I could change the color to light, change back to light. I don't think I can get online. I probably am online right now. But you can see, oh yeah, I am online. So you can see Microsoft Network. So I'm online. I can do some things. Now, how does this apply to you, right? I know I'm navigating this. And one of the reasons why I use this is because I needed a server, is because I bought one license for this particular product. And I'm doing a lot of lead gen stuff. And I needed like 3 of my developers to use this, but I didn't want to like purchase 3 licenses. So I had 1 license, and then I paid for this server, and then my team grew from like 3 to 10. So basically now I had like 8 different people all logging into instance, and they were able to run that one program off of this and download the files onto this, the actual hard drive, which, I was able to access there, right? Because they had, same setup, same infrastructure. And then I'm able to they leave that file in the folder, and I'm able to log in here. So I was able to, remote desktop into the instance, find the file, download the file. I also can make that file accessible, so I can access it from my computer and call a IP address and then access some of the files and so forth. But the whole purpose I'm trying to say is that it's a great way having a server in place where I need 10 people to log in. I don't want to buy 10 licenses. I bought 1 license, real expensive license for this tool that helped me with my lead gen, right? So I'm able to scrape all of these different Google My Business pages and get all that data, and then save that data into this environment, and then just create some automation where it can automatically email that data out and so forth. So anyway, and the last thing, just kind of showing you, I showed you the settings, the prompts. So you'll have like administrative. So this is PowerShell. So you'll run like code and to execute tasks, stuff like that, right? So this is going to be some prompts. PowerShell. PowerShell is a scripting language behind this. And then what's the other thing? And then you got to go through the steps of, dashboard, local servers, setting up your service manager, all servers, a file and storage, right? The disk volume, all this, right? I'll cover this in a future video, but this is very, very important. Once you get your Windows Server up and running, your very first step is to set that up and get that configured, get that done correctly. So I hope this was helpful. I wanted to walk through this, get past the fear, give education. I understand what Windows Server 2025 is all about. This thing is new. It's powerful. It has some really great features, right? I really want to migrate from Windows Server 2022 to 2025, start leveraging all these features. And then your small business owners, I wanted to do some networking sharing capabilities and enhance my functionality and productivity of the team so they can collaborate better and then position me to really drive more revenue. So anyway, thanks so much for your time. Look forward to connecting with you in future videos. By all means, comment in the comment section below, and have a wonderful day.